Today, we are going to talk about something many people have discussed for years, argued about online, joked about, doubted, and even thought would never happen. The long conversation around Martell and his builder license has finally reached a new point. For years, people wondered if he would ever pass the exam, if he would ever take the process seriously, or if the license was simply going to be one of those goals that stayed unfinished forever. But now, new information has come out, and it confirms something many people did not expect so suddenly. The builder license status is finally official, and the document from the Alabama Home Builders Licensure Board shows that. So today, we are going to walk step by step through the information, the timeline, the details about renewal, the meaning of the word ratified, and what this could mean moving forward. We will go over the screenshot, the dates, the yearly education requirements, and the renewal deadlines. We will break down what this might mean for his future work, what it says about his preparation, and how people online reacted to this reveal. When the screenshot started circulating, people were in shock. For years, the builder license exam and its results were a major topic. There were jokes online, arguments between fans, debates about who was telling the truth, and even moments where people felt the entire topic had become a running storyline. So when this screenshot finally appeared, many people who had followed the situation were confused at first. They wondered if the screenshot was real, if it had been updated recently, or if the license had been active earlier without anyone noticing. But once the screenshot was checked and rechecked, it was clear that this was genuine information. It showed the license type, the expiration date, the company name, the county, and the confirmation that the license had a ratified status. That word alone caused more discussion because many people did not understand what ratified meant in this context. Some thought it meant the license was new. Others thought it meant it was pending. So the first thing many people did was search for the meaning. The word ratify in this situation means the license has been officially approved. It means all the documents were reviewed, the steps were completed, the background check was cleared, the scores were submitted, and the board confirmed the application. It is not a casual word. It means the final step in the process is done. Before a license is ratified, there are several steps. First, the person applying has to submit an application with documents. These include personal information, company details, test scores, proof of bonding or financial requirements, and other background information. Then the board reviews everything. This can take several weeks. After the board is finished looking at the information, they either approve or deny the application. When they approve it, the application becomes ratified, meaning officially accepted and confirmed. So when people saw that word, they knew the process was not halfway or incomplete. It was done. Another interesting detail in the screenshot was the expiration date. This date showed that the license is valid until December 31st, 2025. That raised questions for many people because the expiration date suggested the license might not be brand new. If a license expires at the end of 2025, it could mean it was approved in 2024 or even 2023. So the big question became whether this license had been active for some time without the public knowing. People online wondered why this had not been talked about sooner. Some thought it was hidden intentionally, while others believed nobody had checked the board's website recently. But whatever the case, the expiration date meant the license is active and has been active long enough to reach a point where it is almost due for renewal again. Another part of the discussion focused on the renewal process. In Alabama, a home builder license has to be renewed every year, and the renewal period runs from October 1st to December 31st. The deadline to renew on time is November 30th. If someone renews in December, a $50 late fee is added. If they miss the entire year and do not renew by December 31st, that becomes a deeper problem because the license then enters an expired status. But expired licenses can still be renewed for up to 3 years as long as the person completes the expired license application. If the license remains expired for more than 3 years, then the person would have to start over like a brand new applicant. They would have to retake the exam, submit fresh documents, and go through the board review process again. This means keeping the license active is extremely important for anyone who wants to continue working legally in the building industry. Another part of the yearly requirement is 6 hours of continuing education. This must be completed every year before November 30th. These 6 hours ensure the builder stays updated on new rules, safety requirements, changes in construction laws, building codes, and other important topics. These can be done through approved online courses, in-person classes, or training programs. If someone is over 60 years old, they may not need to complete the continuing education every year. There are also some first-time license exemptions, but those do not apply to most people. So for someone staying active in the industry, the continuing education is not optional. It has to be done every year to keep the license valid. Another discussion point online was the name of the company listed in the screenshot. The company name was different from the previous one that people were familiar with. That led many people to wonder if the old company had been shut down, restructured, or replaced. Sometimes new companies are formed when business strategies change, when the company wants a fresh start, or when there are legal reasons to adjust the business structure. No matter the reason, the new company name on the license showed a clear sign that a new phase was beginning. People online discussed whether this meant new projects were coming, or if this was simply a formal step to keep the license active under a new company. Someone also pointed out that it had been said for years that the exam was difficult and that it required preparation. Many people wondered if the exam was taken several times before the passing result was achieved. Some felt that it might have taken more than one attempt. Others believed it took years. Some fans online had kept track, remembering how long the exam had been a topic on the show and in social media discussions. Whether it took a long time or not, the official information now shows the exam has been passed. The board has approved the application, and the license is active. There was also another conversation online about what this might mean for future business projects. With an active builder license, someone can legally work on construction, manage building projects, sign off on work, and be listed as a qualifying representative for the company. This opens the door to more legitimate business activity. Many people online wondered if this would lead to new home building projects or new investments. Some also wondered if this would affect the show, future episodes, or storylines, because for so long the builder license was a major point of discussion whenever the topic of business came up. Now that the license is active, people are curious how it will shift the public conversation. There was also a lot of reaction from fans. Some were shocked, some congratulated, some were confused. Some wanted more information about how long the license had been active. Others argued about whether this should have happened earlier. Many simply wanted to understand the facts clearly, without rumors and debates. The screenshot helped clear up many things, especially with the visible dates, the company name, the county, and the status. Because the screenshot came directly from the official board, it removed doubts. People like having something official to reference because it puts an end to misinformation. Another interesting part of the discussion is how fast news spreads online. One subscriber sent the screenshot to a creator while they were live, and although the creator did not discuss it in the moment, they immediately decided to talk about it afterward, because they knew the news would be everywhere by the next day. This shows how invested people are in certain storylines. The builder license topic has been discussed for so long that many people felt relieved to finally have confirmation. For some, it almost felt like closure. For others, it felt like a new beginning. But for everyone, it was an update worth talking about. Another talking point is why this license matters so much in the first place. For years, the ability to operate legally in the building industry has been connected to reputation, credibility, and success. People want to see results. People want to see growth. People want to see stability. So when the license is finally active, it brings a new possibility for business improvement. It gives a foundation for future projects. It can open up new business relationships. It can restore confidence for some people who wanted to see real progress. It also affects how others perceive the ability to manage projects at a professional level. Some people wondered whether this license status was kept quiet intentionally, or whether it simply was not noticed until now. That part remains unclear. But regardless, the important thing is that the license is valid today. And the expiration date makes it clear that the license has been active for some time already. Now that the renewal window is open, people will probably watch to see if the renewal is completed on time, and if the continuing education requirements are met before the deadline. These small details might become part of future discussions because people want to see consistency. What this means moving forward is that the opportunity is now present to fully operate with the legal backing required for building work. It means new projects can be started under the license. It means contracts can be signed and work can be approved. It also means that from this point on, people will likely pay closer attention to business decisions and building projects, especially since the license was such a heavily debated topic for so long. Many viewers will be curious to see whether this leads to more stability and progress. Another thing people discussed is whether this will calm some of the discussions online, or whether it will create new ones. Sometimes when new information comes out, it solves old arguments but creates new ones at the same time. Some people feel proud, others feel skeptical, and others simply want to see results instead of paperwork. But no matter what people think, the facts now show the license is active. The board has approved it, and the expiration date is clear. This entire situation also shows how important it is to stay updated with official information, not rumors. When official documents come out, they end a lot of confusion. They also give a clearer timeline of what actually happened. People may still debate the why, but the what is clear. The license is real, active, and recognized. As we go deeper into this topic, it is also important to talk about how much responsibility comes with a builder license. This is not just a piece of paper. It represents trust, legal accountability, safety requirements, and industry standards. It means the person holding the license must follow rules, meet deadlines, and stay professional. It also means they can be held responsible for the quality of the work under the company. For many people, this brings a higher level of responsibility. It also brings a chance to rebuild a business reputation or start fresh. Many people online also talked about how the industry in Huntsville and Madison County is growing. New construction, new neighborhoods, new developments, and new business opportunities appear every year. So having a builder license in such a fast-growing area can open doors for major work. This adds another layer to why this update is such a big deal. It is not just about finally passing an exam. It is about being positioned to take advantage of a growing construction market. Some people even pointed out that if the license started earlier than people realized, then there may already be projects in motion behind the scenes. That is something people now want to watch closely. Will new homes be built? Will new contracts be signed? Will new partnerships form? Only time will tell. But now the path for those things is officially open. People also talked about how difficult the exam can be. It requires understanding building codes, laws, business rules, safety requirements, and other technical topics. Passing the exam is not about guessing. It takes study and preparation. So for some people, the fact that the exam was finally passed brings a sense of closure after years of jokes and debates. Others felt surprised, and others felt it was long overdue. But in the end, the passing score is what matters, not the timeline. One interesting part is the meaning behind the company name change. Sometimes people want a fresh start. Sometimes they want to create a new brand. Sometimes they want to move away from old stories or old mistakes. A new company name can be a symbol of that. It can represent a new business chapter. It can also mean a new approach to how things will be done. So people online were curious about whether this company will handle new projects differently from past ones. The yearly renewal requirement also creates an ongoing responsibility. Every year, the license holder must complete 6 hours of education. This is not something you can do once and forget. It shows that the industry expects builders to stay updated, not rely on old knowledge. And with the renewal deadline approaching, many people will watch to see if the renewal is done on time. Another thing worth discussing is how much attention this topic has had over the years. The builder license became more than paperwork. It became a symbol of progress, or lack of progress, depending on who you ask. So now that the license is officially active, many people want to see what comes next. They want to see action. They want to see results. They want to see proof of growth. And whether people support or criticize, they will pay attention. This update could open doors for new conversations about accountability, responsibility, and long-term planning. Building work is not easy. It requires organization, patience, and financial responsibility. It requires meeting code standards, following legal requirements, and managing teams. So the license is a major step forward, but it is also a doorway into new expectations. People online also talked about how this might affect relationships and partnerships. When someone becomes licensed, they can form new business deals, work with new clients, and join with other contractors. So there is a chance this update could bring new collaborations. The industry often grows when people work together, and with an active license, those opportunities become available. Another discussion point is how this might affect public reputation. Some people doubted whether the exam would ever be passed. Some made jokes. Some argued. But now that the license is proven to be active, it may change how some people look at the situation. Others may still have doubts, and others may want to see results before forming an opinion. But at least now, there is a foundation of truth. The license exists. It is real. It is active. And it is officially approved. Many people are also curious about the future. Will new homes be built? Will the business expand? Will there be a visible shift in stability and planning? Will this change how people talk about the situation on social media? These are all questions that will be answered over time. Right now, the important thing is that the license is active and approved. The expiration date shows it has been valid for some time. The renewal period is happening now. The continuing education requirements must be met, and the official board documentation confirms everything people need to know. This update also shows how important it is for people to do their research. When one subscriber took the time to look up the information, They helped spread clarity. Information matters. Facts matter. And in this case, the facts are now clear and official. In conclusion, this is a major moment after years of discussion. It is a moment that closes one chapter and opens another. Now people will be watching to see what comes next. Will new projects begin? Will the business grow? Will the new company name become well known? Time will tell. But for now, the builder license is official, active, and confirmed, marking a new stage in this long-running story.